I tried not to listen to the radio or watch TV, read the papers. I felt the less I knew, the better. When you think that today it's insane that mothers should still have to grieve, I'm sure I've suffered more than he has. All the time, you're living under the fear that he won't come back, especially at the very beginning. Every time a strange car pulls up, you shake. You shake. All the time, all you hear is, he'll never be coming home, or so-and-so's been crippled. And you keep trying to tell yourself, well, but lots do come home.
For you, I bet it's like a fantasy. We all played at soldiers when we were kids, and it was all black and white. There was the enemy, we fought, and we won. But it's absolutely nothing like actuality. In reality, being a target. You can only go through this. You can't explain.
Maybe it would be better not to have to experience it.
Yes, of course. It may well be better, but nevertheless, everyone needs some experience of this kind. Ideals of people. People who've never gone through something like this, they think that life is easy. They've never had to sacrifice anything. They've only ever accumulated. But there, you gather the fag ends and pass them around three, and that's how we shared out the last bit of water. I remember when we were near Herat, we were out of food. All we had were crusts, which we broke into 5 or 6, so everyone would have just a bit, so as not to starve. But for you, here, that can never happen. Here, other laws rule. Well, you're not blood, so why should I give up anything for you? I've got enough, so I'm all right. There. We were all in the same boat. We had the same problems. And you can never forget that. I know that I can always depend on those friends.
The
reality of us having to fight over there, they accept as normal. It seems to me no one should be required to do that. Because I know it will always eat into me that I was doing something unclean. I fear that the stain is now permanent.
But in war, surely there's always bloodlust, even if you're defending the purest of ideals.
At that moment, I was defending state interests, not my own. I suppose I was also defending my own. Nevertheless, I'm left with the gut feeling that what I did was primeval, unthinking. No one should be able to knowingly act that way. But at that moment, when you see your best friend bleeding to death, it makes you see red. And you just boil over and there's no stopping you.
Does this happen when you're faced with someone you may have to shoot? Well, come on, he's your enemy. It's him or you. I'm sorry, I just haven't been there.
The beginning is terrifying. Then you realize that you can't run away. So you toughen. And you bury your humanity very deeply. You're left with a shell. There's not the real you. It's someone else doing this. There's only one hope. To forget. It's all been a dream.
Can you forget?
Come what may, you can't forget. God knows I try. But I can't. Maybe time will heal. Meanwhile, it's all I see. The fact that you are in a position to kill is something you have to overcome. So you don't feel like you're a god. You don't have the right to feel you can control life and death. The fact that you can be killed never comes into your mind. At 20, you don't ever think about your death. And that shields you. Well, before the army, I had lost faith in myself, and I needed to get it back. And I did.
Couldn't you get it back in normal life? Is it only war that can bequeath that to you?
No, I don't know. Of course there is an inheritance, but what do you inherit? I had the opportunity to compare how we live and how others live, and not when they live better than us, but worse. Looking at our life now, it seems to me that we often indulge to excess. We want everything. Well, it's not forbidden to desire, but we've forgotten how to live at peace with ourselves.
Are you telling me that you have to go through Afghanistan to understand this?
I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Not only Afghanistan, but war in general. It's an unnatural way to relate. It's been 6 months since I've been back. And in the beginning, I wanted to explain how complicated it all was, and how hard it is for us now, all of us. But no, nobody wants to know. So now we've closed in, introverted. It's scary to be excluded from life at 20. No one wants to see you frightened or unsure. You're supposed to appear brave and strong and stride over all the difficulties and the problems that life throws at us. And slowly to grow a second skin. Take Eurus, for example. He's not going to run around saying, I can do it all. I've got a medal to prove it. He just doesn't wear it.
Eurus, could I call you a hero?
Why? I don't consider myself a hero. It's just at the moment, when there was nothing else that I could do. I did what I had to.
Aren't you ever going to wear your order?
Maybe there will be a time when I'll find I can wear it. At the moment, I don't see the point. People simply won't understand. I'm sure that there is no difference between soldiers 40 years ago and us now in Afghanistan. If you look at my generation and how we fought, just because we had to. Think how we'd fight if it was for our homeland. I don't ever doubt it. It's true.
So it's not fair to call your generation soft?
No. These are the same kids that partied at discos here. They got drunk and brawled. But when they had to, they got it together. It's assumed that war makes you grow up. It's not so. War ages you. We wanted to come back, not to this, but to our previous lives. But that's not possible. No one will let us. When we're caught on the horns of a dilemma, We're viewed as young, so no one will take us seriously. We're not given responsibility. I can't tell you how awful that is.
Awful?
That's not the word. The real word is much worse.
Pie baltas lapas apsēžos, kā pie baltas domas kapa. Un kas pažēlos reiz tos, kas viens otru nesastapa. Un kas būs tik drosmīgs pateikt, ka nav vainojams neviens. Kas būs tik drosmīgs pateikt, ka nav vainojams neviens. Šodien mums visvairāk stāsta lietus lāses pie skārienes, un man pietrūkst viena glāsta, vai tev nepietrūkst neviens. Šodien mums visvairāk stāsta lietus lāses pie skārienes, un man pietrūkst viena glāsta, vai tev nepietrūkst neviens.
Igor, why did you decide to finish your film with this particular sequence?
The color blue is the color of hope. It's as though we're all in the blue sea of hope. It's the unknown. Everyone has to keep searching. And there are many of us. It seems to me the whole world is hoping. You too, I guess.
If you'd like a copy of the illustrated booklet which accompanies the Soviet spring season, please send a cheque or postal order for £2.50, payable to Channel 4, to Soviet Spring, P.O. Box 4000, London W3 6XJ, or Glasgow G12 9JQ.
One of the greatest films released by Glasnost after 20 years on the censor shelf, The Commissar. The conflict between revolutionary and maternal duty. The Commissar is tomorrow at 10:15.